Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 423 based on novel. So let's start. Boom. Above the Lingu sky, there were countless dark clouds, lightning flashes and thunder in the dark clouds, and the power of thunder was extremely fierce. At a certain moment, a black thunderbolt was vented down from the sky, and the earth below was forcibly cut into an abyss crater several kilometers. The power is truly appalling. Since everyone has refined the medicinal herbs, the little girl is also a shame. Come out. With a coquettish hum, Ling Zix's eyes suddenly became dignified, the flame medicine cauldron in front of him exploded directly, and an emerald-colored round pill was suddenly exposed in the air. Wong buzzing. For a time, the entire sky shook violently, and the thunderclouds above the sky were also changing rapidly. This is Immortal Rank 7th Grade Earth Rank Pill 1 UN Pill? It is said that the medicinal effect of this medicinal pill is quite mysterious. In addition to the many requirements for refining techniques, it is even more comparable to the 7th grade Tiandan of the immortal rank. Wait, is that the 3-color 7 profound demon lightning? I'll drop it, darling. Outside the altar mountain, the strong men couldn't sit still. Seeing that Ling Zixi had successfully refined such a terrifying medicinal pill, he immediately sighed. It is that some of the 7-star fighting immortals in the middle and late stages of the battle are not confident enough to take over. Old Lingxi, it seems that this time, your spirit clan has produced a genius for refining medicine. Being able to refine such a terrifying 1 UN pill at such a young age, the achievements in the future will be limitless, and it is still a class of women, which really reflects that sentence. Women don't let men. Yaro Xuani clasped his fists and said to He, the old lady of the spiritual race. When other powerhouses saw this, they followed suit. Such a young immortal rank 7th grade Shen rank peak elixir has even led to 3-color 7 mysterious magic thunder, and his future achievements may be limitless. Hihi, I have thanked all of you for your love for Zixi. Zixi is only able to achieve what she has achieved by relying on the background of the clan. Compared with the Yarrow clan, it is nothing. Old Lingxi said humbly, but there was a smile on his cheeks. But there is an undisguised pride. Although Ling Zixi has spent a lot of their spiritual clan treasures, but looking at it now, the effect is naturally worth it. There is still a little time before the thunder tribulation will come down completely. But I just don't know what Xiao Yang is doing. People from the Xiao family will not give up so easily. Is he still waiting for something? Ling Zixi was entrenched in the air, quietly guarding the emerald-colored elixir, and her face was extremely solemn, because after the breath, she was facing the 3-color 7 mysterious demons Lei. With that level of power, I am afraid it is comparable to the peak blow of a late-stage 7-star fighting immortal powerhouse. With her strength, it is naturally not a small challenge. Haha, since Miss Ling Zixi has been successfully refined, I can't wait for the guy from the ancient race, so it's time to take action. Come out for me, immortal rank 7th grade heaven pill, blood bodhisattva pill. Suddenly, Shen Hong roared coldly, and his hands suddenly slid into the medicine cauldron surrounded by his raging fire. Instantly, the handprints changed abruptly. After a while, an extremely surging power actually merged under the gaze of countless people. A harsh voice emerged, and the blood-red elixir in the medicine cauldron was completely formed. At the moment when it was fused and formed, an unusually flickering blood-red glow resembled the body of a compassionate bodhisattva, and behind him was even more with a round of bright moon rising from the ground. It looks beautiful. It suddenly exploded out of the medicine cauldron below, and immediately the medicine cauldron turned into countless powders and exploded, and the blood-red mansion's bodhisattva stepped directly into the sky, rushing into the thick thunderclouds in the sky, unleash its power. Boom! With the injection of the power of the bloody red mansion's bodhisattva, the colorless black thundercloud above the sky actually began to shake violently. Everyone, and above the thundercloud, there are as many as 5 colors of thunderclouds rolling. It turned out to be a 5-color 7 profound demon lightning. At this moment, some powerhouses felt an unprecedented depression, and what was even more unexpected to them was that there actually appeared in this Sierra sector person capable of causing the 5-color 7 profound demons. Ray's young powerhouse. The immortal rank 7th grade heaven level medicinal pill, the blood bodhisattva demon pill, the 5-colored 7 mysterious magic thunder, and the simple 3-line characters represent the peak of success in the current medicine clan festival. If there are no stronger ones, I am afraid this champion is none other than him. The 5-colored 7 profound demon thunders are really tricky. Watching this scene, Shen Hong's body lifted into the air, carrying a blood-red mellow elixir, and there was a contempt for Ling Zishi in his words. You two, are you in such a hurry? At the time when the two were arguing, an extremely arrogant voice burst out from below. Yao Ichen? Ling Zishi and Shen Hong roared in unison. Yao Ichen's talent in refining medicine, even the two of them were heart palpitations, and now listening to this kind of words, I couldn't help but feel nervous. The 5-colored 7 profound magic thunder is really extraordinary, but just based on this, it would be too whimsical to take away the title of the #1 alchemist in the mainland. Yao Ichen said coldly, holding a rather delicate cyan medicinal pill in the palm of his hand. A streak of colorful clouds erupted, directly strung into the thunderclouds in the sky. At that time, the thunderclouds were rolling over, but the power contained in them was a faint momentum to overwhelm Shen Hong. The 7-colored 7 profound demon thunder, the pinnacle of the 7th grade immortal rank. How is that possible? After a while, a gust of wind blew up the sky, suddenly turning the entire void into darkness, and a round of thunder that was only a few meters in size cloud, entrenched in the face of Yao Ichen. Above the thundercloud, there are 7 colors, and the power of the 7 colors is constantly merging, converging, and circulating, and it seems to have some kind of terrible power that shakes the world. It seems that the outcome is already divided at this moment. Ling Zishi was also unable to shake his head, and could only cast his gaze on the 8th peak of Xiao Yang, who was sitting quietly. Wait, this guy? Just when he thought about it, Ling Zishi's beautiful eyes found that Xiao Yang, who had been sitting quietly on the 8th peak, was standing slowly at this time. When he got up, his eyes flashed with unprecedented madness, and the smile on the corner of his mouth was full of madness, which made people shudder. A very strange scene was reflected in his eyes. It seems that his goal is the 7 profound demonic lightning that is about to vent on the back of their heads. And just when Xiao Yang got up, some guys with good eyesight actually found that although Xiao Yang was weak, the medicinal materials in the medicine cauldron had already merged, but there was still something missing. What does this guy want to do? In the altar mountain, countless people looked at Xiao Yang with puzzled faces. According to the movement caused by this guy during the first and second rounds of the test, they would never dare to underestimate this guy. I just don't know if this guy will accept his fate this time, or will he stir up a more terrifying storm? It seems that the outcome is now decided. The Yarrow Ichen of the Yarrow family actually caused the 7-colored 7 profound magic lightning. This is the pinnacle of the immortal rank alchemist. I am afraid that 100 years from now, there will be a saint rank alchemist in the Yarrow family. This time, no one seems to be able to defeat him. In the altar mountain, looking at the 3 people who were arguing with swords, people with discerning eyes also knew that this grand ceremony had finally come to an end. Wait, that guy seems to be Xiao Yang. His this. Just after the senior members of the medicine clan took a deep breath, some figures couldn't help but look at Xiao Yang's figure suddenly appeared in the crystal prism in front of them. Emerge lightly. Internal. Xiao Yang, you have already failed, so hurry up and get out. Shen Hong looked at Xiao Yang's sudden appearance, but said suspiciously, but when he thought about the current situation, Shen Hong's grievance was not easy to break out, can only growl. Although the two have grievances, but in front of him the 5-colored and 7 profound demon thunder is about to fall. This is not a joke, and Shen Hong is worried that Xiao Yang will interfere with them receiving the thunder, so he is so dignified. Xiao Yang, step back. Although you have obtained the prescription of the quasi-sacred rank 8-grade medicinal pill, the medicinal pill of that level cannot be refined only by relying on your soul power to achieve it. Soul strength and vindictiveness, coupled with skilled and sophisticated techniques, are indispensable for the 3. Xiao Yang, Yarrow Ichen, are the ultimate winners of this Yarrow clan festival. Looking at the smile on Xiao Yang's face, for some unknown reason, Yarrow Ichen had a chill from the inside out, but the corners of his mouth twitched. The pride on the top is extremely arrogant. This time, after all, he still won. Xiao Yang was indifferent and did not speak, because Xiao Yang's goal was not them. Xiao Yang is waiting, he is waiting for the thunder tribulation of these 3 guys to be completely brewed. The moment when they fall from the sky, that time is his last chance. Xiao Yang, you? Ling Zishi asked suspiciously from Xiao Yang's indifferent expression, as if she could smell something keenly. I want to try. Xiao Yang nodded with a smile, not shy. After all, no one would believe such a thing. Are you crazy? The power of the 7 profound magic lightning is not something you can handle today, not to mention the lack of fighting spirit in your body. If you force it, I'm afraid you will be shattered. Failure is not terrible, terrible. Ling Zishi hurriedly panicked, her beautiful eyes shrank tightly, and she screamed. Yarrow Ichen, You are so confident that your 7-colored 7 profound demon lightning can win the first place in the grand ceremony. The 7-color 7 profound demonic lightning is indeed the pinnacle of the 7th grade immortal level pills, but unfortunately, there are many more powerful pills than it. Xiao Yang turned his head and stared at Yaroichen. It contains a rare crazy fiery color. Although the 7 profound demonic thunders are extremely fierce, I have already come prepared, so Xiao Yang, your little abacus is useless. Yaroichen thought that Xiao Yang meant that he could not take on this level of thunder tribulation, so he sneered. He is a dignified genius of the medicine family, but he has everything to deal with the treasures of thunder tribulation. How could he not be able to catch the mere thunder tribulation? No, you are wrong. You are all wrong. The people who should retreat are you, Xiao Yang said, looking up without turning his head, looking at the 3 thunderstorm clouds entrenched above the heads of the 3, and said with a smile, at the same time, an extreme the turbulent flames swept out, lingering the sky covered with Dan Lei, forming a world of fire. This guy, because he can't make medicine pills, can't bear this blow. How stupid he has become. Some weak guys watched Xiao Yang actually go to the gathering place of the 3 thunderstorm clouds. Couldn't help but wonder. Boom. Xiao Yang didn't bother to pay attention to them. The dazzling amber rock soul fire in his body swept out, showing the undead fire, easily forming a sea of fire, isolated from the world, and gathered the 3 most terrifying thunder tribulations in together. That feeling is like a person seeking death who wants to fall here with the power of 3 thunders. How could this guy be so kind? He is helping us resist the thunder calamity. Could it be that he needs the power of Lei Jie to temper his body? After all, when he dealt with Yang Xian just now, that kind of power was somewhat similar. Shun Hong, Yaroichen, and Ling Zishi retreated a little unconsciously, muttering in their hearts. Even with the existence of Dueling Peak, after a long period of refining, they are now quite weak in their bodies. If they are to receive a thunder calamity, I am afraid it will take a lot of effort. Now that they have free coolies like Xiao Yang, they naturally laugh. Mouth shut. Wait, this matter shouldn't be so simple. But where is the blame? I couldn't say for a while. Yarrow Yixuan was puzzled, but she looked at the flame medicine cauldron at the 8th peak of Xiao Yang, and it seemed that there was still a trace of temperature inside. And inside, a young pill appeared, but it didn't have any energy. It seemed that Xiao Yang had not completely merged all the medicinal powers into pill. Didn't he give up? Why hasn't the flame in the medicine cauldron been extinguished? Why risk the threat of death to pick up the thunder robbery? And it was the most terrifying 3 thunder tribulations in this grand ceremony. The power of that thunder is enough to really obliterate him. Boom. Yarrow Yixuan was troubled by countless questions, but before she could think more, there was a black figure beside Xiao Yang on the sky. That black shadow was exactly the same length as Xiao Yang's body, it was simply carved out of the same mold, and even the strength was the same, the surging power gushing out like a source. 7-star fighting immortal is complete. Moreover, it is the state of peak strength, which is not like Xiao Yang's sluggish atmosphere at all. That's a soul clone. For a moment, Yarrow WNWAN only felt a headache from the outside world. Looking at the 2 Xiao Yang, a trace of unease appeared in his heart. He has a rather uneasy premonition this guy is extremely unruly playing cards, and I am afraid that this time, he will turn up some strange things again. How? Are you confident? Seeing Xiao Lei appear, Xiao Yang asked softly. Xiao Lei's expression suddenly changed a little, but it was too weak, and Xiao Yang didn't notice it. Hearing Xiao Yang's voice, Xiao Lei nodded abruptly. If that's the case, then give it a good vote. Pick it up for me. As soon as the 2's voices fell, their bodies suddenly became tense, and then, under the gaze of countless people, they went directly to the 3 terrifying thunder cloud. Even the weak flame medicine cauldron at Xiao Yang's 8th peak was brought into it together. I don't know what this guy wants to do. This guy, wouldn't he want to use the power of the pill thunder tribulation to merge into a pill? Seeing Xiao Yang's desperate move, many powerhouses sneered. The old man's face sank, and a panic emerged. This guy is very human. Nima, this lunatic. Seeing Xiao Yang and the 2 directly intertwined into the thunder tribulation, some alchemists in the entire Medicine Valley couldn't help but secretly smack their tongues. That level of Dan Lei, a person might accidentally after being annihilated, their figures exploded back after the respite, maintaining a very safe distance from the thunder and tribulation clouds above the sky, but they were extremely curious in their hearts. What was Xiao Yang's death-defying behavior? Tear it off. Xiao Yang and Xiao Lei had just submerged into it, and suddenly the thunder beams continued to linger, and the faint fluctuations emanating from them caused Xiao Yang's skin to have an extremely terrifying pain. 3 colors, 5 colors, and 7 colors. The 3 extremely ferocious 7 profound devil lightnings seemed to be able to shatter Xiao Yang's body with a single blow, but the sheer size and power that filled them were exactly what Xiao Yang needed today. Xiao Yang had indeed underestimated the enormous power required to refine the holy pills. In addition to the original battle with Yang Xian, the dueling peak was destroyed, and now he can only try it. If you don't succeed, become a benefactor. Hurry up. Xiao Yang frowned, and Xiao Lei looked at each other, so they both knew their own intentions, and an incomparably dazzling power immediately emerged from their bodies. In the middle, his eyes were fixed on the 3-7 mysterious thunderbolts above the sky. The pill robbery contains extremely abundant and tyrannical energy. If Xiao Yang can take it as used, what's wrong with the success of the holy pill this time? However, if it fails, its fate is probably self-evident. This guy, what are you going to do? In an instant, following Xiao Yang's death-like strange behavior, countless figures looked at him at the same time. Above the sky, in the domain that has long been isolated by Xiao Yang's holy flames, dozens of fierce thunderstorms headed by 3 thunderstorm clouds continue to whistle. That kind of scene, but quite terrifying. Do it. Looking at the terrifying power of thunder around him, Xiao Yang let out a cold snort, and the profound powers of the two suddenly emerge. Xiao Lei took the lead, the lightning pattern on his body flickered, and it was as solid as a copper wall and an iron wall. A trace of grey thunder continued to linger, standing directly in the sky, forming the first line of defense, intercepting the most terrifying coercion of the whirl. As for Xiao Yang, the strength in his body is weak, but he is slowly sitting in the air, and the strength in his body burns his own flame medicine cauldron. It was also under the very clever cover of Xiao Yang that he slowly plunged into it. It's not good. Seeing Xiao Yang's actions like this, Yarrow Yixuan's beautiful eyes became extremely complicated, a trace of unease disappeared in an instant, and at this moment, it turned into countless horrors. Xiao Yang's actions, how did he help the 3 of them to take over the Dan Lei? He simply wanted to use the power of the Dan Lei to infuse his holy pills with power, so as to completely melt the Dan Lei. Because his strength is already insufficient, he can't successfully melt the pill. This guy, if he loses, he also loses. But if it is successful, I am afraid that I will become the #1 person in the world of medicine refining. These methods are too terrifying. Yarrow Yixuan couldn't help taking a deep breath at this moment. His voice became extremely solemn, and said, 3 pieces of 7 profound demon thunder, plus some powerful thunder tribulations, so Xiao Yang was talking and laughing about this huge scene. No one could match this kind of courage. Humph. The power of the 7 profound magic lightning is not something that a 7-star Do Xian who lacks Do Qi can take over successfully. With the blessing of 3 thunderclouds, even an 8-star fighting immortal can only be defeated. The greed is not enough to swallow an elephant. Be careful not to kill yourself. Shun Hong gritted his teeth while looking at Xiao Yang's attitude. He naturally didn't want Xiao Yang to succeed, but because of the terrifying scene in the sky, he did going to make trouble with powerlessness. After all, once you are submerged in it, it is no different from sending you to death. Boom. Before the conversation between the several people could end, a lightning storm suddenly brewed out of the 3-7 mysterious thunderbolts in the sky in the Sea of Fire domain. Shoot away. Small trick of carving insects. Xiao Lei sneered when he saw this. The grey thunder around his body lingered on his fist, and he stepped out to form a lunge. Above his fist, the sun, moon, and thunder were blooming. Smash it. Boom. In an instant, the mountains and rivers were turbulent, and countless thunder beams overflowed from the center of the battle between the two. Even the seemingly fierce lightning storm was eaten away by Xiao Lei little by little. Horror can't help but numb the scalp. A moment after Xiao Lei took his attack, a similar lightning storm emerged from Xiao Lei's body, and roared away at Xiao Yang. To the flame medicine cauldron in front of him. This lightning storm is also the power brewed by the 7 profound demonic lightning. Xiao Lei's attack just now only filtered out the amount of madness in it. Chung. With the injection of the power of lightning storm and thunder, and suppressed and controlled by Xiao Yang with his soul power, for a while, a shocking energy fluctuation erupted from the dying medicine cauldron, and in the medicine cauldron, the neutralizing liquid and the snake swallowing the skygrass have been quiet all the time, and the last 2 flavor core medicine liquid is also supported by this energy, and gathers towards the young pill. Bang bang bang. With a sound, the dazzling energy directly broke through the medicine tripod, and a colorful energy beam rose into the sky. Countless stunned figures saw that there was a rounded pill. Above, a touch of the strongest aura that surpasses all things gently emerges. 8th rank of Holy rank, Earth rank, Celestial Soul Transformation Pill, be born. Looking at the stunned gazes of the people around him, Xiao Yang's voice sounded like the sound of rolling thunder, resounding throughout the majestic mountain range. The robbery clouds, like deflated stone balls, disappeared one after another. At the same time, in the entire mountain range, the last traces of heaven and earth energy boiled directly. On the ground, flying sand and rocks, countless trees shook violently, and even the void emitted a trace of rare shattering, and countless spiritual wisdom in the mountain range. The demon beast was extremely quiet and extremely humble, and seemed to pay countless respects to this medicine pill, as if waiting for something to come. In the sky, a golden arc of light lingered slowly like the morning sun, accompanied by bursts of refreshing rainbow rain, which revealed endless vitality. At the moment when this golden arc of light appeared, the entire altar mountain, and many alchemists who wrapped up the competition, all lost their voices solemnly. He actually succeeded? Really, sacred pills? This bastard. Shunhong below looked at this scene, his eyes became extremely sharp, the corners of his mouth became sarcastic, and the endless killing intent became more obvious. Why are the mere mortals in the first session able to refine medicine pills that surpass them? And still holy? In addition to the fact that there was a grudge between the two, the seeds of jealousy could not help but slowly take root and sprout. Boom. And just as Xiao Yang was about to meet the vision that was born from the holy pill, Xiao Lei didn't have any recruits in the sky, and there was no trace of talking to Xiao Yang. The grey thunder on his body. A pair of snow-covered battle armor is formed, and a mouth is opened to form a powerful vortex, which instantly devours the remaining power of thunder and calamity. The whole action was like flowing water, without a trace of hesitation. Xiao Lei, what are you doing? Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't wait for the rainbow rain and the golden thunder tribulation to come. He frowned and asked, this Xiao Lei seems to have absorbed the thunder tribulation last time. Became extremely weird. Hey, it's a waste to keep it. Xiao Lei took all the remaining thunder tribulations into his bag. It seemed that some mysterious power was recovering in his body. He immediately licked the corners of his strange mouth, and then turned into a meteor. Submerged in Xiao Yang's soul realm, and regardless of Xiao Yang's doubts, it seems that he has gone to refine such a huge power of thunder. What is this guy doing? It seems a bit beyond my control. Xiao Yang shook his head. Soul Avatar is a prosperous existence with the main body, and the strength and fighting skills are the same. However, such as Dragon God Transformation, Fenju, etc., Xiao Lei has not inherited it perfectly. Restraining the soul clone and things, but Xiao Lei knows all of Xiao Yang's other fighting skills. There was no time to think about Xiao Lei's problem. Xiao Yang raised his head, an unprecedented pressure like 100,000 mountains was pressing on Xiao Yang's head, causing Xiao Yang's breath to be quite chaotic. The vast sky, such as the 7 profound demon thunders and some impenetrable thunderclouds, had already been cleared by Xiao Lei under his devotion. At the top of the sky, a golden arc of light is like a newborn baby, and it has not yet come completely, but the remaining power of the light is enough to threaten the real powerhouse of 8 starfighting immortals. The rainbow rain fell instantly, and countless vibrant breaths slanted down, nourishing this mountain range, quite prosperous, and making countless people feel like a spring breeze. Creeping. After a few minutes, the entire sky, the dazzling golden brilliance slowly bloomed, and a golden beam of light stood in the clouds like a pillar of the sky, with an irresistible coercion of heaven and earth. Come. The 4th transformation of the dragon god. Shadow of the fighting soul. Xiao Yang said with a slight smile, his eyes became extremely deep, and now his body was nearly depleted of fighting chi, and he could only rely on these strengths to resist. What a terrifying method. But what is the thunder that this guy draws out? Why have I never heard of it? There has never been a golden thunder tribulation among the holy pills. Yarrow Wan was extremely surprised. It seemed that Xiao Yang's actions had surpassed his understanding. As for the other people in the altar mountain, their eyes narrowed and they stared at Xiao Yang intently. Will it succeed this time? This Xiao Yang is such a terrifying method. Hunmu's body was wriggling, and he was standing in the sky. He only drew out the 6-color 7 profound magic lightning, but at the moment when the magic lightning appeared, it was scattered by Xiao Yang's golden beam of light. Go, it seems that the 7 profound demons are extremely afraid of the golden arc of lightning contained in the golden beam of light. Can he succeed? Yaroichen said with a huge pressure in his eyes. I don't know, but let's wait and see. Ling Zishi shook her head and said, This kind of thing, even she herself can't predict. At the end of this grand ceremony, I will challenge him, Xiao Yan said with a firm look. In his opinion, Xiao Yan used the power of mortals to use the power of the 7 profound demonic lightning to melt the pill. The moment the holy pill was born, he had already lost. Even if Xiao Yan did not succeed in taking over the thunder tribulation, he would still lose. Brother, you will surpass him sooner or later. I believe in you. Yao Yishuan also said with a smile. She naturally knew Yao Chen's temperament. Although she was proud, it was derived from her own strength and strength. Now that Xiao Yang has been attacked one after another, it has aroused the inner strength of his body. The meaning of comparison is to go in a good direction. It started. I don't know who said, and the entire mountain range began to tremble. The golden beam of light traverses the sky, piercing the sky abruptly, and in the center of the beam of light, a golden arc of thunder that jumps and beats, raging like a bolt of lightning, and it seems that wherever it goes, everything is dead. Come on! Xiao Yang roared, the scales on top of his body turned into a half-dragon, and the 2 soul shadows after the fusion of fighting spirits increased Xiao Yang's power to the peak. Boom! The golden beam of light rolled and roared violently, sending out extremely terrifying fluctuations like a wild beast, seemingly declaring Xiao Yang's ignorance. As the golden beam of light tumbled, it immediately shook abruptly. Finally, all the energy of the golden beam of beams suddenly shrank, condensed into a golden arrow at a speed visible to the naked eye. Without any hesitation, it just appeared from the sky. Shots burst out from the clouds, shattering the space, carrying the coercion of heaven and earth, and delivering the most deadly divine punishment to Xiao Yang. Bang bang bang! The golden arrows are covered with countless golden thunder arcs. Just after they came, they raged out in the sky with countless turbulent and deadly power of thunder, rendering the whole world into a golden world, dazzling golden Lei Mang, and the arrow showed no mercy, and finally hit Xiao Yang's body under the watchful eyes of countless people. Tear it! The golden arrows had not yet landed on Xiao Yang's body, and when those golden thunder arcs touched Xiao Yang's body, they turned into countless golden thunder snakes and scattered out. Crack! This situation didn't last long, and Xiao Yang's shadow of the fighting spirit was taken away by Xiao Yang, because Xiao Yang knew that if this continued, the fighting spirit would be lost again. But in this case, Xiao Yang's breathing suddenly became much more rapid, and even the scales of the tyrants were flashing with a hint of madness. With the sound of as the fighting spirit disappeared, the golden thunder arc also disappeared, but the golden arrow containing the coercion of heaven and earth suddenly stabbed at Xiao Yang's heart, trying to obliterate it with one blow. Xiao Yang. A mere thunderbolt, how can it be compared to the scale of the Dragon King? Xiao Yang roared coldly, and immediately the half-dragon power of his body was displayed, and the scale of the Underlord revolved in his body at a high speed. For a while, the golden arrow actually stagnated. Smash it to me. Xiao Yang's muscles were tense, his heart beating violently in his chest, and the dragon power above his arms unreservedly vented out, directly carrying the golden arrows. After the blink of an eye, the golden arrows suddenly appeared numerous cracks, and Xiao Yang stepped out his fist in one fell swoop, instantly shattering the golden arrows. At this point, all the thunderclouds above the sky slowly disappeared, and so did Xiao Yang's body. Falling down into the 8th peak like a lost flower and a willow, although the half-dragon transformation has no losses, it has also become extremely bleak. The eerie medicinal pill in his hand was also quiet. There was no accident. A refreshing fragrance emerged, but there was no mental restlessness. The root cause seemed to be a trace of holy energy injected by Xiao Yang before. At this moment, the audience is silent. Success, success. Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance, everyone present was full of astonishment, with expressions of disbelief. The golden arrow just now seems simple, but only the strong people in the deep mountain range like Hunmu and others can feel the coercion of heaven and earth from the inside out. Destroyed and perished, fell under its divine might. Moreover, after taking Dan Lei, he had to face such means as medicinal pills, and finally, under Xiao Yang's prestige, it became quite easy. Brother Xiao Yang. At this moment, Zunna's soft eyes flashed with a hint of pride. Immediately, she took the form of Yang Ting, floated gently, crossed the void, and stepped into the Lingu Mountains, like a tame cat was quietly guarding Xiao Yang's side. Xiao Yang has successfully refined the medicinal pill, and there is nothing else to do next. Madam. The scales on Xiao Yang's body were already extremely dim, and even a burning sensation and numbness continued to emerge, and there was even no trace of vindictiveness in his body, and he suddenly leaned on Zunna's body lightly. On the shoulders of incense, lethargic. Brother Xiao Yang, you have done a good job. Zunna supported Xiao Yang with both hands, and the pure power of flame was transported away, alleviating Xiao Yang's weak state, and the distress in her heart became more obvious. Haha, my medicine clan festival really hasn't been so lively for a long time. The grand ceremony has come to an end. I also ask all the contestants to take out the medicinal pills you have refined and hand them over to our high-level pharmacist to judge and verify. 10 minutes later, the number 1 pharmacist in the mainland will also have his own. In this scene, Yarrow Wanwan chuckled lightly, but even if he didn't need to speak, I am afraid that the first pharmacist in this continent already has a final attribution. As soon as Yarrow Wanwan's voice fell, 10 Immortal Order 7th grade medicinal pills with different expressions were projected one by one. These medicinal pills already possessed good intelligence, but in the Xiao Yang also became quiet under the golden arc of lightning, so it was easily subdued by everyone. They were in the form of human beasts, and there was an endless stream of them. Unfortunately, only the holy pill refined by Xiao Yang, the whole body was round and did not transform anything. The vision, but this medicine pill is more terrifying than the medicine pill refined by anyone. Xiao Yang, don't be too happy, after the grand ceremony, there will be another round, I will make you regret it. Seeing Xiao Yang's wealth and beauty, Shen Hong couldn't help sneering, and endless killing intent swept out. As long as he kills Xiao Yang, the first alchemist will be in a different position. 10 minutes are fleeting. Hee, this medicine clan festival has ended, and the final champion also belongs. I declare in the name of the patriarch of the medicine clan. The champion of this Yarrow family grand ceremony is Xiao Yang. Yarrow Wan's voice just fell, and the audience suddenly boiled over, and voices of envy could not help but emerge. Such a young saint-level pharmacist is unheard of. It's surprising to say that this guy has refined the 8th grade holy rank Shendan. Even now I can't see why there is no transformation vision. I'm ashamed. Looking at Xiao Yang, Yarrow was extremely he said something black. Thanks to the humility of the strong men, let the boy get this title by luck. By the way, I'm actually the lord of the Endless Fire territory. If you are interested, you can join it. When the time comes, you can refine medicine pills, etc. The junior will provide you with good convenience. Seeing that the time was ripe, Xiao Yang also threw out his own identity. After all, if the first pharmacist in the Do Emperor continent was taken away by an unknown generation, I am afraid that the Yarrow family would also be extremely itchy. Endless Fire territory. Listening to Xiao Yang's opening, the other powerhouses also nodded. They naturally knew some news about the Endless Fire territory, but now that the title of the number 1 alchemist in the mainland will undoubtedly help him add countless powers. The grand ceremony is over, my medicine family will warmly entertain you, and those who want to stay can also drink to their heart's content. During this period, the medicine clan festival will continue for a while. Yarrow Shwani and the others laughed. Haha, the medicine clan festival is really a rare event in 100 years. Voices emerged one after another, but some high-level forces were also looking at Xiao Yang and seemed to be weighing some things. The Endless Fire territory has now become a strong force on the Dodi continent, and now it has the support of the ancient clan and the continent's No. Seniors, you seem to have forgotten something very important. The contestants have the right to challenge the champion. If they defeat the champion, they can replace the champion. At this moment, with Shen Hong's exit, the audience was silent. With the strength Xiao Yang showed in this grand ceremony, even some 8-star fighting immortals would not dare to fight him head-on. In the end, even Yarrow Ichen, the arrogant person in the sky, lost his courage to confront him. How confident is Shen Hong, who can't even get it? There is indeed such a link. Listening to Shen Hong's opening, Yarrow also said again, but his brows wrinkled, thinking deeply. Originally, he thought that Xiao Yang had displayed such terrifying strength, and there should be no one who would not open his eyes to challenge him, so he wanted to omit this step. Shen Hong, what are you doing? Retire for this old man. Seeing Shen Hong's move, the old monster Shen she scolded. They were arrogant like Yang Xian of the Yang clan. They did not kill Xiao Yang with the power of forbidden techniques. Xiao Yang's strength was no longer on the same level as theirs. CS sect Shen Hong challenged the champion Xiao Yang. Shen Hong didn't care about this. He had an agreement with Liu Hao, and there were many treasures that Liu Hao gave him. Naturally, he wanted to try his best, even though it was only the secrets of himself and Liu Hao were unknown to the other powerhouses of CS sect. Xiao Yang, can you agree? Yarrow WNWAN is also not easy to refuse. After all, what he said before is not easy to do in front of many powerful people. I agree. Xiao Yang nodded, and there was a deep meaning in his eyes. It takes an hour to recover the grudge, and after that, the challenge begins. Yarrow Wan said helplessly. After Shun breath, both of them sat up cross-legged, trying to recover the vindictive energy consumed in their bodies, and there were strong people from the medicine family, and there were many elixir to restore vindictive energy. What the is this Shenhong doing? Yarrow Chen couldn't help shaking his head. Originally, he was also going to challenge Xiao Yang, but after witnessing Xiao Yang's successive terrifying strength, he could only secretly swear that he would defeat Xiao Yang in an upright manner next time. This Shenhong is narrow-minded, and he will pay for it. He doesn't know what medicine is sold in the gourd. Hunmu also stood up together. Strange, why can't use the ancient clan order, can't call the seniors Jiu Yuan and the others. Zuna gently guarded Xiao Yang, trying to use the ancient clan order, but it was unsuccessful, but he didn't get into it for a while. All of a sudden, the audience boiled over. Xiao Yang's medicine refining skills and combat power were obvious to all. Did Shenhong rely on him or go to die? For a time, everyone was also looking forward to the final curtain ratio, not knowing what surprises Shenhong would bring. This video will end here.